Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tammy. I'm the owner of Walnut Creek Bath Boutique. I am so excited to share with you today my process on creating a new formulation. Now, I am not a master formulator by any stretch, okay? I will take formulas and I will tweak them and I'm happy. I am not one that can just create a formula from nothing. I'm not there yet, but I'm feeling a lot more confident in my skills. I'm feeling a lot more confident in my knowledge of my products and my ingredients, right? So I feel like I'm really starting to toe the line of formulating my own recipes, right? So what I wanted to share with you today, this orange peel butter that I bought from Making Cosmetics. Now, I bought this several months ago, and this is one of those decisions that I wish I hadn't had made because it wasn't a smart decision, but now I'm kind of glad I did it. But I bought this with absolutely no plan. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I had no it wasn't even anywhere in my mind. I thought, "Oh, that sounds cool. I'm going to get that." And here I am several months later, not knowing what I'm going to do with it, right? I'm not making those mistakes anymore. I'm having plans for every purchase. But look at that beautiful cream. It smells divine. It smells divine. It is so nice. Now this is made, I was assuming this was going to be made with shea butter, but it's actually almond oil, vegetable oils, and then the orange peel powder, I think, is what's in it. But when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with this butter, I just kind of Googled orange peel butter recipes or formulations or orange peel butter creams, and just to try to get some ideas of what I wanted to do with this. I came across the Body Shop. I've never been to the Body Shop. I've never purchased from the Body Shop. I think it's supposed to be pretty good. I don't know. They have a Satsuma cream, and I printed off those ingredients on that cream. And I thought, you know what? I have a lot of these ingredients. A lot of them I already have on hand. And their cream has water, shea butter, and glycerin. First three ingredients. Glycerin is a third ingredient. And I was like, what? Then I kind of remember that Marie at Humble BME has had several posts lately about using glycerin in a higher amount. So I went and kind of looked at her formulas that she's used glycerin in creams or lotions or butters or those kind of things. And she's using them, I think it was at 10 to 15% of the formula was glycerin. So that's kind of was in my mind. It's like, okay, well I can bump this up to that 10 to 15%. Then after glycerin, they have cetyl alcohol for an emulsifier. They have glycerol stearate, PEG 100 stearate as an emulsifier. They have Brazil nut oil. Then they have something I can't read. It's a skin conditioning agent. Then they have soybean oil. They have limonene, which is a fragrance ingredient. They have beeswax, dimethicone. So when I started seeing the beeswax and the dimethicone, I wasn't sure about beeswax, but dimethicone is either 0.5 to 5% usually, and usually not up to 5%. So what I did was I created a formula where I have water, glycerin at 12%, D-L-panthenol just as a little added bonus to it, and sodium EDTA, which is on here as well. That's a chelating ingredient. It does, I can't explain it, but it does something with the metal ions and your ingredients reacting with metal ions, maybe in the water. I'm not exactly sure, but it's chelating. And then instead of Brazil nut oil, I'm using meadow foam oil and orange peel butter. Now in here, they're using tangerine peel oil way down, and they're calling it a fragrance ingredient. So they're using the tangerine peel oil as fragrance and not for anything to do with skin conditioning or not anywhere near as a main ingredient. They have several pH adjusters on here. They have some color, and they really don't mention anything about a preservative. I'm sure there's a preservative in that product, but they don't list it in their ingredients. How do they not have a preservative in their ingredient list? I have no idea. That seems strange to me. They also have xanthan gum in here, so I'm going to use that. So yeah, I took this as kind of inspiration, and I thought, I have all these ingredients. Well, not all. I have a lot of these ingredients, and I came up with my formulation. I had gone over to Marie at Humble BME, and I went to her encyclopedia and went to glycerin, and then I went down to what she used, what formulations or recipes that she uses glycerin in, and I looked at those. I am going to go ahead and add a little honeyquat, and it's a emulsifier. It's not an emulsifier. It's a conditioning agent, and I'm just using that because I have so much of it that I've never used. One of those ingredients that I bought for a plan, that I did have a plan for that honeyquat and cannot remember what recipe I was going to use it in. And so it's just been sitting there. So I'm going to throw it in. So guys, I am going to get this ready, and I'm making 12 ounces of this. I know that seems like a lot for a test, but I do better with a little bit of bulk in my testing. To make a really small amount, I find that difficult. So I'm almost ready to get this started, and I'm just really excited to try this. I've been wanting to try it for a long time. I've been wanting to use this for a long time. So let's get to making. I've taped the intro like 5 times, so I don't remember what I said in the last one or not. But I'm not going to give you the recipe on this. I want to test it, and then if it turns out as good as I hope, obviously I hope it turns out, but if it's really good, I'm going to remake it with a little bit more of a I don't know, less haphazard video, and I will bring you the recipe at that point with any changes that I feel like I need to make. So right now I'm getting my heated water phase. So that was my water and my glycerin and my, let's see, diol panthenol. Then disodium EDTA, which again is really hard for me to explain, and I don't understand it fully to explain it to you. But again, it's a chelating ingredient that does something with metal ions. It makes your ingredients work better together or something like that. If somebody knows for sure, it's one of those things I have to read right before. I mean, I remember it right after I read it, but I walk away from that and I don't remember what I read anymore. So that's it on the heated water phase. And now I'm going to do the heated oil phase. So meadow foam seed oil. All right, and now the star orange peel powder. Or I keep saying powder for some reason. I don't know why I'm saying that. Orange peel butter, 15. Let's see. And I'm anxious to kind of see the consistency. It is kind of it's almost like a soft shea. But it's not shea, it's almond oil and other vegetable oils. I may have to do a scrub in this. I think it would be really refreshing as a scrub. Cetyl alcohol. I think this is really going to help me become a good formulator doing this. because I went on to like Lotion Crafter's website, and all these ingredients that I used, that I am using, I went on there and I looked at the usage rate. And so I wanted to make sure that I was using the normal usage rate that I should use. So that was really interesting, and I was learning. I felt like I was really learning my ingredients, which is a good thing. Another thing I'm going to have to do before I add my cool down ingredients is I'm going to do my pH, because I want to make sure that my Liquid Germ Plus, this pH is adequate for that they'll match well. And that's not something I ever really considered before, this last year. So I feel like I am growing and learning, which is a good thing. I'm going to put some dimethicone in there. The Body Shop had dimethicone in theirs. Not a lot. Doesn't take much of that. I am going to put xanthan gum in here. And just one. And then beeswax. I have never used beeswax in a cream before. Not one time. So I'm kind of anxious to see. So that's it. This is my heated water phase, my heated oil phase. I'm going to weigh this in case I need to top that off. I want to know how much that is. All right, so I'm going to get these on the back burner and get them heated through. And when we come back, we'll put them together. Go to the next step. Okay, everything's been heated through. I kept my water on the stove for 20 minutes at about that 170, 175 range. And I topped it off. And so now I'm going to pour my water in my oil. And I'm going to blend it. I've never colored a cream before, but I think this one is begging for an orange color, don't you? So I'm going to be blending this at least for 2 minutes. I'm getting a smiley face. So it is under 8 pH. It's under 8. So that means that I can use my Liquid Germ Plus, and it's going to work. Oh yeah, I need this to get my Liquid Germ Plus in here. So I need 2 grams of that. And again, that's just something I never considered. When I was first making my products, I never even considered the pH of a product before. We're right at 130, 128, 130. And so my cheat sheet I have on my bottle, it tells me that my pH for Liquid Germ Plus is 3 to 8. And it tells me that it's good for water and non-water products, and that I need to add it below 122. So I like having this little cheat sheet on my bottles. All right, we're under 120. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. Now this is my vitamin E, my honey quat, and my preservative. I'm kind of excited about this. It's, I have made formulas before. I have done the body butter was my own formulation. My tallow cream is my own formulation. But I've never formulated my own from scratch. And I feel like this is from scratch, even though I took inspiration from a couple different places. I've never done an emulsion. So this is like my first true emulsion, formula. So I have 1 4-ounce cup or jar I'm going to fill as a tester, just because I want to know how much this is going to cost me. And I want to see where 4 ounces hits it. If I'm going to get 4 ounces in it. And I will. That was 4.10. So I want to get right at 4. It's really thick. All right. So there's 1 jar. So that held 4 ounces pretty nicely. So this 12 ounce should fill 3 of those up. So when I go on my program and see how much this is actually costing me, I'll be able to say, okay, this recipe or this formula makes 3 4-ounce containers, and then I can scale it up from there and know exactly what I'm making. Okay guys, it's the next day, and let's just talk about really quickly, because I think this video is already longer than I meant for it to be. So here's the cream. It's nice and thick. I like that. And it has a nice, it has a really nice kind of bouncy texture to it. So I like that part. What I don't like about this cream is the feeling that it's a bit tacky. I won't say draggy, maybe just a tiny bit draggy, but it's just a bit sticky and tacky until it completely dries. And then that kind of goes away. So, a couple things. And then I'm going to be off because, like I said, I'm sure this video is already way too long for me, that I try to keep them shorter and it just never works out for me. So I did a couple little, I kind of looked at this a little bit closer, and I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of the honeyquat. It's really unnecessary. And some sites say it's like a humectant, but some sites kind of call it more of a conditioning agent. So I'm not exactly sure, but I don't need more humectant in here. The allantoin is also a humectant, and I probably don't need that. So I got rid of the honeyquat, I got rid of the allantoin, and I got rid of the xanthan gum. I don't think I need that. What I did do is I added some IPM, which is isopropyl myristate, to try to help with this end feel a little bit. It's an emollient. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I have it in my list as an emollient. I think that's going to help with the end feel of it. I bumped up the orange butter by a percentage to see if I can get the smell, because one thing, it smells really, really good, but it's fairly faint. You can smell it if you look for it. So I will probably end up adding some, I don't know if I'll add orange essential oil to it, but I may add essential oils to this to bump up that citrusy smell. But I want to make sure I'm not adding anything that's like phototoxic. Is that the right word? But anyway, so I did bump that up to 5% to try to get a little bit more of that orange vibe coming through. And I think that's the only changes I've made. I increased my water. Which one's which? No, I decreased my water. I also, it looks like I also am dropping the disodium EDTA. I dropped that, and then really everything else is fairly, everything else. I made quite a few changes, didn't I? So something I'm just taking away from this is I am learning a lot. So every ingredient that's in this formulation, I have gone to Lotion Crafter or I've gone to Humble BME Encyclopedia, and I kind of researched those. Lotion Crafter is such a good resource on ingredients. It breaks it down to usage rating and what it's for and what it plays well with and what you have to do to make it play well with something. It's really, really nice. And then the Humble BME Encyclopedia kind of is nice too, because at the end of that ingredient breakdown, she has all those formulations that you can kind of scope out and get a feel for how she's using them in her formulations. So I find both of those extremely helpful, and I feel like I'm still learning so much. I really feel like I'm learning a lot. So I am going to try again, and maybe another time after that. We'll see. But for now, I'm done bringing this video to you. Oh, one other thing I'm trying is I am going to try to go down to 6 ounces because this is so wasteful. It's so wasteful. I mean, I'm going to use it. Don't get me wrong. And the girls at work, they're going to use it too, whether they want to or not. But I need to learn to work with smaller quantities so I'm not wasting so much product on my testing. So it's just a comfort level thing, and I'm never going to get comfortable with that smaller batch if I don't just keep trying. And so I am going to go down to 6 ounces, which is still quite a lot for a test, but baby steps. Baby steps, that's all I can say. So guys, thanks for watching this just journey on my trying to formulate my very own emulsified product. Yeah, body butters and different things like that I've been doing for a while because there's no emulsifiers, there's no water, those kind of things I can feel pretty good about, but this is a whole different level of formulating. So it's been challenging, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm going to just keep at it. So guys, that's it for today. As soon as this formulation is what I would consider the best I could do, I'm going to bring it to you. So stay tuned for that video coming, I hope soon. I need to make sure it's pretty stable, but I hope fairly soon I can bring you this formulation in all its glory. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.